Hey guys, Mike Lawson here, founder of the Social CEO Academy. And I wanted to jump on and share something with you that I just got done watching probably within the last hour, but it was something I came on actually on YouTube and I wanted to share it with you because it was so good. But I do have an announcement at the end. I'm doing a free masterclass tomorrow night, so stay tuned for the details on that. And it correlates to this little training I'm going to give you correlates to the free masterclass I'm doing tomorrow night about having a breakthrough. And do me a favor, if you're actually watching this, I know we're streaming in a couple different places. Let me know you're on live, if you're catching on the replay. But if you're in the Social CEO community, just make sure that you allow StreamYard to see who you are, to recognize your comments. And then do me a favor, just drop in the comment section where you're watching in from. Always like to know where everyone's watching in from. So, and I'm going to introduce a concept to you called U squared, which I found, I can't believe I've never heard of this, which is a really, really cool concept. But let me ask you this. Do you believe that if you just try a little harder, that you can get better results? And I think most of us do. We just think, hey, if I just work a little harder, I try a little harder. I know that's always been my motto. But he went on. Now, this is from Procter Gallagher, rather. Did a little training on this. And it just so happened that in his story, this just happened to me the other day. We had a snowstorm here in the Northeast during the week. But there was a fly that was trapped in my kitchen, and it was kept hitting itself, kept like diving, like a suicide mission into the light in my ceiling. And then it went over to the window and it just kept slamming itself against the window, right? And if you've ever seen flies do this, right, more so in the summertime than anything, but they just keep, like a suicide mission, right? They keep flying into the window, trying to break through, right? They're looking for a breakthrough. And they keep trying, right? They try harder and harder and harder. But trying harder isn't always the best solution, right? Because sometimes struggle, like the struggle that they're going through, that the fly's going through, is also part of the trap. See, it's impossible for the fly to succeed by flying through the window or even breaking through that light, whatever it was trying to do, right? Thinking that light is freedom. It's trying harder. It keeps slamming itself harder and harder and harder, but it's not getting any further. But a few steps away, there's a door. And if I were to open that door and try to get the fly out, I mean, how many times have you done this? You open a window, you open a door, you try to get the fly out because it's driving you crazy. You can't kill it with a shoe or something. But it could be free, right? I actually opened the window and I'm trying to get the fly out, thinking it would fly out. The window's open. It's freezing cold out. But why doesn't the fly try to go through that window? I mean, it's literally a few seconds away from total freedom, right? It could be free. The breakthrough is there. But why doesn't the fly try to go through that, right? And it just keeps slamming itself against the glass, slamming itself against the light, trying harder and harder. But why doesn't it try something dramatically different? I mean, how did the fly determine that this was the best way out? Or why did the fly determine that this was the best way to achieve its goal? See, what logic is there to continue to do the same thing over and over again until you die? See, it makes sense to the fly, but regrettably, it's obviously going to eventually kill the fly. See, trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. And sometimes it's a big part of the problem. See, you may kill your chances for success. You may kill your chances for success by only trying harder. And see, that was me. Again, I had no problem working hard. Okay, great. I'm not at my goals. I got to work harder. Well, what do? Got to work harder. See, there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many hours in a week. There's only so much that you can do yourself. And here's what I love that Procter Gallagher started talking about: improving your performance. And again, if you watch any of my videos, I'm all about performance and and motivation. But I think, again, we want the most out of our time, right? I mean, we all have the same amount of time in the day. Why are some people getting dramatically different results from their day versus yours? Well, this idea of U squared, and U squared equals explosive growth. Okay, so let me explain. And U squared simply means you multiplying yourself. By the way, I couldn't get that little 2 above the U, so I just wrote that abbreviation for squared. But it's you multiplying yourself. How many times have you said this in your business? Man, I wish I just had one other person, just one other person that worked as hard as me. Man, if I could find one other person that worked as hard as me, right? That never quit, never gave up, was there, right? Earlier than me, later than me, or just kept up with me. How much further ahead you'd be. Well, I want you to stop thinking so small. Here's why. Imagine this. Imagine U squared, meaning you multiplying yourself by yourself. Now, imagine having 5 other people like you, 10 other people like you, 50 other people like you, 100 other people like you, 1,000 other people just like you on your team that you're benefiting from the results of. Now, for the network marketers out there, I know you're loving this, right? Because it reminds you of network marketing. It's exactly like network marketing, and that's why I fell in love with the industry of network marketing. No different than building a sales team and getting a piece of everything that the sales team does. I love that concept, right? Working smarter, not harder, right? Making money on work that you're not doing. But now this isn't a pitch for network marketing, but I will say this, that it's hard for most people to understand that. And sometimes it can sound impossible for you to think that it could happen, because you're like, well, how is this going to happen for me? And how can, I got to do it all by myself. How is it going to happen? Well, you don't have to do it by yourself. See, you don't need to see tangible evidence in order for it to be a possibility. See, there are resources out there that you can access that can't be seen. And they're far greater, and they're more powerful than anything that you can do on your own. I love this. It's getting good. And here's what he says, that I love this, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Let me repeat that. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. See, if you look at an iceberg, right, you only see the tip of it. Well, it's not evidence that there's nothing below it. And on the contrary, we know what's below it, right? It's bigger below the sea level. See, but it's all about awareness. Are you aware of what you can tap into to multiply yourself by yourself instead of just adding one by one by one? See, most people operate with the mindset that assumes success comes one step at a time. I'm guilty of that, right? We look at, and I'm going to go back to network marketing for a second. When you look at the compensation plan, you look at, hey, I get started here. I want to go there. What do I need to go to there? And then you get there and you're like, okay, what do I need to go to there? Now, I know there's some people that come in and say, I want to go to the top. Well, those people are like firecrackers. They usually don't stick around too long. But typically in any environment, your work environment, your job, right? You want to get promoted to the next level, right? There's just a bump up. And most people, right, they look at their current level and it's, it's unspoken. But most people, they look at their current level and they figure out, how do I get to the next level? And then they work harder to get to the next level. And it's a gradual process to get higher and higher. And what people do day to day, this is a pathway, for gradual progress. And it's also conventional growth. That's what we're used to, right? Like a step ladder, right? One step at a time. And step by step, taking one step at a time even feels more natural and even safer for most people. And I know for those of you that are watching this, you're not, you don't like to play it safe. So you're going to love this, okay? Stick with me. It's still going to get good. See, you can skip stages. You can go from where you're at now. So your current circumstances doesn't mean that you can't get to where you want to go. And not just a step at a time. I'm talking like 5 steps, 10 steps, 1,000 steps at a time. See, you don't have to be content where you are. And actually, if you're not content where you are and you want to strive and go further, okay, this is for you. It's the concept of U squared. See, you go for the breakthrough, and the breakthrough equals an explosive jump in progress, in success, in finances, and it's also the realization of your dreams. See, here's what I do know. It's the end of the year. Everyone gets ready to start goals for the next year. It happens every year. It happened in 2019 going into 2020. Now at the end of 2020 going into 2021, we're going to set goals, and you look at your past goals. Did you reach them? No. Okay, we refocus, we reshuffle, and then we go again. But they're usually goals that, most of them, and if you followed any of my goal setting techniques, if not, check them out. But you want to set some short-term goals and then some long-term goals. But most people will set short-term goals because the long-term goals, right, they get, makes people a little, uneasy, where they don't believe that they can go out there, and achieve that. So whoever just wrote that, great stuff. If you're in the community, just allow StreamYard to act, to see who you are. So you can go ahead and do that. But here's what's great about that. See, this is far beyond the next logical step. I'm talking about quantum leaps. It's exponential gains over gradual progress. See, I don't know about you, but we all have, I guess I do know this about you, that you have an end in mind, or hopefully you have an end in mind. Like you want to get to a certain point, whether it's financially, whether it's, job related, career related. You want to get to a certain level, whatever that is. Now, maybe you're at a position where you're stuck and you can't go any higher, but it doesn't mean that this can't happen for you in other areas of your life. But exponential gains versus gradual progress, okay? Going from, the beginning, a beginner level, okay, to a pro level, and doing it quickly, not years, but days, okay? Maybe a couple of years, maybe 600 days, something like that. But versus years and decades. It's the concept of multiplying versus adding. See, here's what I always did. I would always add. Man, if I could and this is the way I thought, man, if I could just find one other person just like me, that's adding. Now I need to find another person like me. That's adding. But imagine finding 50 other people like you. Well, see, that's possible. See, these quantum leaps can happen. And they can happen for you without any more effort than what you're already putting in. See, we all have so much energy to exert. You already have the energy. You just don't have the results. Now, maybe you have some results, right? You're moving up. You're getting to the next level, right? Now, it's never going to happen as fast as we want it. But there are some things that you can do to go from zero to hero literally overnight. And when I say hero, I mean for your family, right? Because that's why you're doing this, right? Hopefully. So you can literally go from if I were to tell you, imagine making $500,000 a year, you're like, wow, that'd be awesome. But I don't make more than $50,000 a year. So most people would say, okay, well, let me be realistic and let me try to get to $75,000 next year. Let me try to make it a little bit extra money on my side business. Or maybe you want to get crazy and double it. I want to go from 50 to 100, right? And it makes you a little nervous. That'd be awesome, right? That'd be great. But imagine going from 50 to $500,000 and doing it like that. See, it's possible. There's quantum leaps. There's things that you can do, and there are things that successful people do. And I hate to use the word secrets, but the only reason that they're a secret is because you won't listen to them. That's why it's a secret. But there are things that people do, the ultra successful people, right? That, here's what I'll share with you. There are people that I know personally, very good friends of mine, one a best friend. The best years ever, the best year they've ever had was in 2020. And we're talking about the worst year for the restaurant business, right? We're in the middle of a pandemic, a worldwide shutdown. And how are some people having their best financial years ever, and other people are struggling? And they need that. And I'm not making light of this, but they're really depending on that $1,200 stimulus check or the $600 stimulus check, where there's other people that are having record financial year. Oh, it's because they're in the right industry. I beg to differ. Maybe some of them. Yeah, again, the restaurant industry might not be the best, but here's what I do know. For the self-employed person, the entrepreneurial person, see, that's us. And I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of restaurant tours, okay, that have had to pivot and adjust and get into other things to take care of their families financially. And why do some people like that have they'll jump into your industry and they'll explode. And you're like, wow, they're an overnight success. Well, maybe it looks like that, but you haven't seen the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years that they've put in to get there. But there are some things that you can do to get there. So here's my final thought, okay? And I appreciate you guys saying that. Let me know if if you guys have any questions or comments. But so tomorrow night, I'm actually doing a free masterclass, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's how to make 2021 your breakthrough year, because that's all it is. Right? That's what the flies was looking for, a breakthrough. And that fly just trying harder and harder and harder was, just killing itself. And maybe you feel that way. You're just working harder and harder and harder, like you're killing yourself. And some of you literally are. But imagine learning some secrets, if you will, some tips, if you will, to you square yourself, multiply yourself to get to that level, to go from $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year to $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. Now, some of you guys are like, that's impossible. He's talking crazy. It is impossible if you think it is. But I'm going to share some real life stories of good personal friends of mine, not just ones that I saw on TikTok or YouTube, but people that I know personally that are having their best year ever in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. And it wasn't like that the year before. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. They were doing well, right? But there are some things that are very valuable for you to know as an entrepreneur. So if you want to jump on that, the free masterclass, just drop the word link in the comment section. I'll get you the link to that. And if you do attend live, I'm going to have a free gift for you guys. So again, it's this whole concept of U squared. I can't believe I've never heard it, but I was so excited when I'm listening to it. And it was just one of those aha moments for me. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So maybe I should change the name of the masterclass. Maybe I should just change it to U squared. But anyway, come join tomorrow night. If you can't join live, which I recommend you do if you can, because I'm going to give you a free gift. But if you can't, I'll send out the replay. Just make sure you go ahead and get registered. But some of the things that I'm going to share with you are going to blow you away. So, hey, Nils, I will send you the link. Nils, where are you watching it from? I think you're out in Norway. I believe you're Norwegian. I believe that. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm not going to keep you any longer, but thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But definitely get registered for the free masterclass tomorrow night. Absolutely free. If you attend live, I'm going to give you guys a free gift. Have a great night, everybody, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.